The candles were still burning when I opened the door, the same ones from 12 years ago. My mother's chair faced the window, her hands folded like she was mid-prayer, and my father's glass of wine hadn't evaporated. The food on the table was warm. I could smell the rosemary, but no one turned to look at me when I stepped inside, and that's when I realized they had been waiting this long because I never actually left. I had spent 12 years running from this house, from their disappointment, from the weight of expectations I could never carry. I left the night of my 23rd birthday, after the fight that shattered every glass boundary between us. My father called me a coward. My mother cried silently, the way she always did, like grief was something to be swallowed whole. I slammed the door so hard the frame cracked, and I swore I'd never come back until I became someone they could be proud of. And now, I had. I'd built a life in another city, modest, quiet, but mine. I had a job, an apartment with plants I kept alive, even a dog that waited for me by the door. I learned how to forgive myself for leaving, how to breathe without their voices in my head. 12 years was long enough, I thought. Long enough to prove I wasn't the failure they believed I was. Long enough to come home and show them I survived. So I drove back through the October fog, rehearsing what I'd say, imagining the tears and the embraces and the way time would collapse into forgiveness. I thought they'd be older, grayer, softer. I thought the house would feel smaller. I thought I'd finally be free. The house looked exactly as I'd left it. Same chipped paint on the shutters, same crooked mailbox leaning toward the road like it was tired of standing. Even the garden, my mother's roses, my father's tomatoes, was arranged in that obsessive symmetry they both loved. It was late afternoon, the kind of golden light that makes everything look like a memory, and for a moment, I felt something close to peace. I knocked first. Politeness, I thought, after all this time. No answer. I tried the handle, and the door opened without resistance, the hinges silent as if they'd been oiled yesterday. That's when I saw them, my mother at the head of the table, my father to her right, my younger sister across from him. All three of them perfectly still, faces turned toward their plates. The table was set for 4. "Mom?" My voice cracked. She didn't move. Neither did he, neither did she. I stepped closer, my heart beat loud in the silence. The chicken was still steaming, the potatoes glistened with butter. My father's wine glass was full, untouched, the liquid dark as blood in the fading light. And then I noticed something that made my skin go cold. The 4th plate. My plate. It was set with food, still warm, still waiting, like I'd just stepped away for a moment, like I'd been gone for only a breath. "I'm home," I whispered, and my sister's eyes flickered, just once, toward the empty chair. I sat down slowly, my legs moving without permission, like my body remembered something my mind had forgotten. The chair felt too familiar, the worn groove in the wood where I used to slouch, the scratch on the armrest from when I was 7 and carved my initials with a kitchen knife. My mother's lips moved, but no sound came out. My father reached for his glass, lifted it halfway, then set it back down in the exact same spot. My sister stared at her hands. "I came back to apologize," I said, and my voice echoed wrong in the room, like the walls were swallowing it. "I know I left without saying goodbye. I know I hurt you. But I'm here now. I'm finally here." Nothing. Just the tick of the grandfather clock in the hallway, steady and relentless. I looked at the clock, 6:47 p.m., the same time I left, the exact same time. "Please," I begged, standing now, the chair scraping loud against the floor.
Say something. Anything. I drove 12 hours to get here. I practiced what I'd say. My throat closed. My father's face was gray, sunken like a mask that had been left too long in the rain. My mother's eyes were open but empty, staring past me toward the door I'd come through. My sister, God, my sister looked exactly as she had that night, 17 years old, tears frozen on her cheeks like glass. That's when I saw it. The calendar on the wall behind them. October 14th, 12 years ago. The day I left. The day that never ended. I stumbled backward, my hip slamming into the counter. My hands found the edge of the sink, and I looked down at my reflection in the window above it. But I had no reflection. Just the darkening sky beyond the glass and the faint outline of the dining room behind me, playing on loop like a film reel that had been running for over a decade. No, 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 no. And then I remembered. The fog on the highway, the deer that stepped into the road, the way my headlights caught its eyes for just a second before I swerved, the tree, the impact, the silence that came after. I never made it home. I never left.
I sank to the floor, my back against the cabinets, my breath coming in short, broken gasps. The room didn't change. The candles still burned, the food still steamed. My family still sat frozen in that terrible, eternal moment. The moment I destroyed us. Because now I remembered everything. I didn't leave after the fight. I tried to. I grabbed my keys, my jacket, my rage, and I stormed out into the night. But my mother followed me to the driveway, her voice breaking as she called my name. "Please don't go like this," she'd said. "Not like this." And I turned back. I actually turned back. I saw her face, wet with tears, and for one brief second, I almost stayed. But my father appeared in the doorway behind her, his face hard and unforgiving, and he said the words that sent me running. "If you leave now, don't bother coming back." So I left. I got in the car. I drove too fast down the old country road, my vision blurred with tears and fury. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't see the curve. I didn't see the tree until it was already filling my windshield, and then there was nothing but the sound of glass and metal and my own scream, cut short. I died angry. I died unloved. I died believing they hated me. And this house, this moment, became my purgatory. Not because they trapped me here, but because I trapped myself. I couldn't let go of that night. I couldn't move past the anger, the guilt, the desperate need to come home and make it right. So I stayed. For 12 years, I stayed. Driving toward this house in an endless loop, arriving at a door that was never locked, sitting at a table that was always set for me, trying to apologize to people who couldn't hear me because they weren't really here. They were at my funeral. They were visiting my grave. They were living their lives, older now, grayer, carrying the weight of my absence like stones in their pockets. And I was here, alone, repeating the same return over and over because I couldn't forgive myself for leaving. I looked up at my mother's frozen face, at the tears I'd put there, and I finally understood. She wasn't waiting for me to come home. She was waiting for me to let go. They all were. This wasn't their prison, it was mine. The clock struck 6:47 again. The candles flickered. My sister's eyes moved toward the empty chair, and this time I understood what she was looking at. Not me. The space where I should have been. The son, the brother, the boy who never got the chance to grow into the man he wanted to be. "I'm sorry," I whispered, and this time the words felt real. "I'm so sorry." The room shuddered,
The air grew colder, and for the first time in 12 years, the clock moved forward. 6:48.
The candles finally went out. The room fell into darkness, and as I faded into the quiet, I realized the truth I'd been running from all along. The door was never locked. I just never left.